Have you ever wondered what you have to do after Dr. Joe Dispenza's retreat? So this video is all about it.
Because some of you have attended his event and you have also been asking us to make a video about how we integrate after our retreats. We have been already on 5 of his week-long retreats, and after these 5 we can really say what really helps us, what really works for us when we come back from that retreat, from that experience, to keep the momentum going, to keep that experience alive. Think about it for a moment. You have been on a beautiful vacation, it was super warm, you felt so happy, you felt in love with life, you met amazing people, you had great conversations, you feel much closer to your partner, and then you go back to your normal life. How do you integrate after a vacation like this? The fact is, you probably don't. The feeling that you had during the vacation will just slowly fade away. So we don't look at it as much as integration, but more as a how can we evolve it, how can we maintain this feeling? Because when you go to this retreat or you have some spiritual experience somewhere, you most likely feel very much in love with life, you feel very whole, you feel unlimited, you feel free. And when we go back into our old lives, those things usually just start to fade away, and we don't want that happening, because you have been experiencing your true self now, your true unlimited self.
And it also costs some money, and because you pay for these vacations, you also make it worthwhile, because we always, even though we go to other types of vacation, we forget to integrate and we forget to take those vacations with us into normal daily life. And it's good to be aware of what you would like to carry with you, what energy you would like to carry with you in your own life. You could also be just in Greece and you would see something there or some recipe and you just integrate it into your life. These recipes from Dr. Joe you could also integrate into your life.
This video we will have 2 different parts. First, Petra will explain to you how you usually feel after retreat, what can happen within you and around you. And in the second part we will give you some tips, things that helped us really much to keep that spark alive, keep that magic alive for as long as possible.
First of all, what I very much recommend if you have a retreat with Dr. Joe Dispenza is to secure 2 or 3 days after the retreat directly, very close to venue where you book Airbnb or so you can relax, because you will be very, very tired. I was sleeping after the 10-day retreat very long, like 2 days I needed to really restore and regenerate, because the days are extremely full. You have almost no sleep, because you want to be with people who are amazing, and then you meditate whole day, and then you're attentive, and then you have all the lectures, and you really don't have time to integrate. You don't even have time to change your clothes almost, you know, you really are, your schedule is extremely tight. So go somewhere close to the venue or so. Don't travel immediately, because you would be very, very tired.
And a little remark to that, Dr. Joe Dispenza says this all the time. He does this on purpose. He keeps us this busy on purpose, because he knows when we would have too much free time in between, we would start to get on our phones, we would start to talk about our old stories with the people next to us, and we would just fall back in the program. He really wants us to be immersed in that, in these 7 days, and he does it for a good reason. He does it very consciously.
So take some protein bars, book your Airbnb very close to the venue, make sure that you have accessible water and a little bit of food, because you would be very tired and you want to sleep, and you would be probably wanting to meditate a little bit more, because you don't want this magic to stop. Also, a lot of people are reporting, because you integrate a lot of energy and you work with yourself a lot. Some people could experience a little bit flu-like symptoms, and some people call it this way. It's called like Dispenza influenza. It looks like normal flu, you know, some people have even high fevers, because your body is integrating so many frequencies and recalibrating, basically changing into different frequencies, that you can experience a little bit of that. And it's normal. You just can be only tired, or you can be also experiencing that. It's fine. You should count on it. You don't want to really have very busy schedule immediately after you come from a retreat. you would want to give it to yourself, because it's very much recommended by us to not go full on life, daily life, immediately 1 week after the retreat.
It doesn't have to happen always that you get this flu,
No.
but it can, and it's absolutely understandable. The body is going through so much, and the autonomic nervous system is getting a huge upgrade. It's something that the body is just processing it this way. So it's good to be aware of that in advance.
Sometimes you could have different kind of expectations after Dr. Joe's retreat and it wasn't fulfilled. You're not healed, you're not wealthy, you didn't walk away with 2 Ferraris, and you could be upset and a little bit frustrated about it. You have to understand, you have to really respect your process and understand that it's not happening every time overnight, and maybe you were not ready, maybe you didn't tune into your frequencies correctly, or you didn't tune as
Not
long
enough.
as enough. Yeah, so just keep on going and keep creating, and don't forget that you're unlimited.
And it's about the
And just-
journey.
Yeah.
And when we hear those testimonials, we often fall in the trap of thinking, wow, they had it so easy. They went to one retreat and they had miraculous healing. Now they're fine. But those people often had months or years of process of being on the journey of overcoming themselves until they finally could arrive at that moment where they could heal in one instant, seemingly. But we have to respect that we all have our own journey, and it takes time, it takes patience, and these thoughts of thinking, oh my gosh, it didn't happen, what's wrong with me, these are the exact reason why we don't have what we want yet. So just relax about it. You know, it's, you anyways take so much with you from this experience. Your body gets an upgrade, your biology changes, the science shows that, it proves it, that it happens for everybody. And some things you don't even notice, but things happen in a good way with you.
I was, for example, one of those people who didn't really have anything happening, especially first Dr. Joe's retreat. It was like, okay, I was there, I done that, but I don't need to go to other retreats anymore. It was nice people there and so on, and I didn't see the magic there. And this is an important remark for you. If you're on a healing journey and you healed in retreat, this is a message for you that you need to continue living in your new self, new body. And if you forget about it, a lot of people, it happens that when they get healing, they get better, their tests are better, everything looks better, and then they forget, and then they go in their own way, and it gets a bit worse, the body again. So you have to still keep your energy up and change until you get the healing, because it is possible. You can see so many testimonials, but those people did so much work at home. It doesn't mean that when you go to retreat you will heal. The other thing is, what we recommend is, if you are with somebody there who becomes your friend, exchange contacts as soon as possible. Don't forget about those people. Keep them in your...
Don't wait until the last day.
Yeah, don't wait until the last day. You will never see those people again. So it's better to really enjoy those people, and sometimes you have very strong connection and you want to see those people again. Just get those contacts and make sure that you can have a meeting together, or you become good friends, because you lose those people. They go their merry way, and you know, it's a pity. And it happened to us all the time that we didn't take contacts, and now I feel that there is just people for the moment. And anyways, when you are supposed to be with somebody, anyways, you will meet those people. They will come in your way again, and so on. So no stress about that. If you don't make it, if you didn't happen to do it, just don't stress about it. Your life, or you know, your intention can be sent to the universe, and it will happen anyways, that you will meet again. You can also join healing groups after Dr. Joe Dispenza's retreat, and you can meet those people randomly there. For example, they show up in a half year or in a year in the same healing group like you. So we very much recommend to join some groups for healing, because you can help to heal to somebody else. And also it's great, you get a lot of music from Dr. Joe, recommendations about books from Dr. Joe, and it's really cool to keep you immersed in the work and to just continue working on yourself, because it's not only about one retreat and that's it.
Petra was mentioning that Dr. Joe also recommends certain books, and I think that's important because this way you can also go on with your spiritual journey, not just with Dr. Joe's work, but there are also a lot of other things that also he likes to read or listen to that can really contribute to your spiritual evolution. So it's not just Dr. Joe and nobody else, there are actually a lot of people that can lead you on your journey.
One more thing about Dr. Joe's books, he used to make his kids to read every single year the chapter from Red Lion, and we recorded it for you so you can listen to it, because it was so important for Dr. Joe that his children will have this in their mind all the time. And I think it's an amazing chapter, and I think you should listen to that video.
I'll link it up here somewhere. Now we get to the second part of this video, where we will give you some practical tips that you can use after going to Dr. Joe Dispenza retreat, that you can really integrate and continue your evolution and maintain that feeling especially. So first step, super obvious, keep doing the meditations every day. Just one meditation is already enough if you don't have time for more. And just keep connected to this. Keep going into the blackness, into the unknown. This is the most profound part of this work. And whatever you have started to work on during the retreat, it will just keep on growing. You will keep moving there. Next, we also recommend you to use a journal to reflect on your days, to think about in the start of the day, who do I want to be today? As who do I want to show up? Do I want to be more humble? Do I want to be more in love? Do I want to have a love for life? And at the end of the day, you reflect back on the day and you say, okay, here I went unconscious, but I did this really well. So you can keep getting better. You can keep basically score of yourself, and you will never go unconscious. This way you're always keeping yourself accountable.
And these questions are asked in the morning meditation from Dr. Joe and evening meditation from Dr. Joe. So if you don't remember the questions and if you are not inspired what to think about, always listen to these two meditations.
That's amazing. Then you basically don't have to journal. It's just the meditation does exactly this process in the morning and in the evening.
And then you can prepare yourself for the meditation, because you can record the questions and you already know what you're going to ask yourself.
Great idea. And the next thing is that we recommend you to stay humble and silent about the retreat experience to most people, because especially after the first retreat you might be very tempted to tell everybody about it. You will tell them, my gosh, I've seen people stepping out of wheelchairs, miracles happened, people healed stage 4 cancer right on the 7-day retreat. Other people will not understand it, they will not get it.
You can't come to people and say, oh, I saw a lady on stage and she grew her rectum back. You just can't do that. Or I saw a lady and she grew her thyroid back. You can't do that. You can't put it into people's face and expect that they will not think you're crazy and in some crazy group and so on.
Yes.
So
it's just a natural thing. People will not understand it. They are from outside. Only you who have been in that experience can really understand it, and you can never explain it the way that somebody's like, oh my gosh, I feel like I've been there too now and I totally understand you, I totally get it. That's amazing.
We've been trying this with other people, and I am always very much testing those people who are not into Dr. Joe's work and so on. I'm trying in a conversation. I'm testing if they would react openly or not. And usually when the person is not open for this kind of conversation, I will just not go there and I'll keep it for myself and maybe share it with the people who I am connecting within the group of Dr. Joe's healers or so, because it is so unbelievable. Sometimes even my brain, my mind doesn't get it, how miraculous things people are able to do with their own bodies and with their own life. And you can't just say it to other people. It's always better to lead by example. And Dr. Joe also says it to us. lead by example. Just do the work and wait until people say like, did you change your haircut, or what are you doing, what drugs are you taking, you know? And you say, nothing, I didn't change my haircut or anything, and people would notice naturally that you glow, you are a bit different, you behave differently, you start to say no where you always said yes, or you know, it will be very changing. And also you have to be ready that some people will not be able to take it, and they might be not your friends anymore in your life. And it's very
Can happen.
positive. It's very much happening after retreats and during the work.
We can very much understand the feeling that you see those miracles happen, you see people heal or truly change their life, become somebody completely else, and that you have the need or the desire to share it with everybody. Hey, you could change your life. Hey, you got diagnosed. There is a way how you could get out of this. And for me, I had to learn that no matter who I tell it to, people are either ready or they're not. What I would do now is just, if you see somebody that could really benefit from doing this work and is not familiar with Dr. Joe, recommend them a book. Don't buy it to them. Don't push them to get it. Just tell them, hey, there's a great book, maybe you want to read it. Or just send them a podcast link from Dr. Joe and they can listen to it. And then if they're interested, you can say, hey, come to me, we can talk about it if you have some questions. And then you can talk to them about it, but not talk to them from your own motivation, from your own interest in helping them in some way, because it just unfortunately doesn't work that way.
I have an aunt, and she got diagnosed with cancer, and I thought that I have to tell her all about this work, and she doesn't really hear these things. But I said, okay, I'll go slow on her, and I will give her a book. And I borrowed her a book from Dr. Joe Dispenza, and it was laying on her shelf like several months. Then I decided that it's time for me to go through some notes of mine in that book, and I called her and said, I'm sorry, I need my book because it's been already with you for quite a long time, but you can purchase it in case you would feel, or I will borrow it to you after event, because I need to make me ready for something. But you see that sometimes you serve it to people on a silver platter and they don't react, and that's really the hardest thing, to understand that everybody has their own journey and own process. Or even though it's my parents, I can still recommend, I can still lead by example. I don't have to force these people to go through this exact process because I am choosing it. They can choose for themselves whatever they need, and we have to respect, no matter how the decisions are from our parents or from our friends, we have to always be on their side and support them and respect that they choose their way, even though they wouldn't choose Dr. Joe Dispenza or any other thing.
I can actually also understand the person on the other side, because if somebody comes to me and they tell me about their ayahuasca retreat or experience, and they tell me how life-changing it is and how I should try it as well, then it's also getting on deaf ears with me. I'm also not interested in this. I'm not open for this. This is not something that I seek for, I'm open to in any way. So I can really understand it. There are so many different ways how people can evolve themselves, how they can heal themselves. If somebody's really into it, they will find the journey. They know you're there. They know, Petra, she did Dr. Joe Dispenza retreat. Maybe I could ask her something about it. They will come when they're ready. But it's not going to work if you try to do it from your own motivation.
Yeah, and in my country it's a bit different because it's quite expensive from people in my country, in Czech Republic, and people would not be taking it very well if I would share that I was in Dr. Joe's retreats. So I basically don't really share it with anybody. My parents know it, and maybe my very close family. But I don't really share it with friends who I just randomly see every once in a while, because it's not necessary, it doesn't define me, and I don't have to talk about it with anybody, and I actually like to keep my secrets for myself.
Yeah, and also sharing with people, hey, you know, I start to do the meditations now and I meditate every day and I'm being spiritual. It's not gonna contribute in any way to the society. It's not gonna inspire somebody to now also evolve all of a sudden just because you tell them what you're doing. What really is gonna make a change, and that's what Petra already mentioned and what Dr. Joe always says when he talks about the integration after retreat, be the living example of truth. Show people what love is. Show people how you can be really present. He says, show them a level of presence that makes people uncomfortable. Because we're so not used to people being truly present with us anymore, because we're constantly distracted with our phones. Show them what that looks like. And this is really what makes change. And when people see you doing this, they can mirror neuron you. They can copy your behavior, and that's what really makes cultural change in the world. That's Dr. Joe's advice for integrating after the retreat. Look, you don't have to be worried that Dr. Joe is opening some spiritual portals which are super heavy to digest and hard to go through. Everybody on that retreat is there for themselves. The meditations are the same for everybody. You will not experience anything that you're not ready for. Somebody might see beings, somebody might not. We don't have to compare ourselves with anybody else. If you have an experience, an unexpected experience in the field, and you get scared, the only thing that's going to happen is it's going to stop. The moment you start thinking, oh my gosh, what's happening, it stops. And you lose that opportunity in that moment.
Your mind will always protect you from
Yes.
these mystical, amazing experiences like it does to us.
Yes.
And when a newcomer comes and they don't know what to expect and they have never heard about this work and they just felt like they should come, it happens very minimum times, but it happened. And now all of a sudden they have mystical experience and they are working for several years to have that thing back. But they
Yes.
never do because they already anticipate this outcome. So it's also quite funny. So somebody experiences mystical things and somebody never does that. But anyways, they can heal their body and they can heal their life.
So this event is really something very individual, very personal to you, and you are wherever you are on your spiritual journey, and you're not alone. The community is massive from Dr. Joe Dispenza. He has a Facebook group where you can talk to people, where you can ask for support. You can contact the staff. They have a huge frequently asked questions where they answer a lot of common questions. So you don't really have to be worried that anything bad could happen to you during the retreat, or that you would not be able to integrate it enough. There are always people around you, and you will get whatever you are ready for in your journey.
And there's definitely nothing, no question which was not asked to Dr. Joe's staff. So you're not that special, and we understood that we are also not that special and not have certain special problem which is unique. We have all similar problems and similar questions, so they are very much ready for us.
There also comes a little trap with doing this work too much, because some people are getting so much immersed into the work and into the meditations that this is all they're doing. They're basically escaping their 3D reality, their body, their actual life, for being in the space all the time, being in the quantum field all the time. This is also a mistake. Dr. Joe also says, make sure to keep one foot in the 3D and one foot in the 5D. We need to remember that we are also physical beings. We have been given this body. We are right now having this lifetime on this planet Earth, and we get to enjoy that. So live your life. Use meditation as an additional part of your life, but not the only one. Also remind yourself to live, have fun, and enjoy.
We are super smart about these recommendations for you because we've been through all of them.
We've already done all the mistakes.
We've done those mistakes, so don't worry. You will definitely do some of those.
Yes. And lastly, we really want you to keep doing the work, keep staying conscious of this, and relearn his work, listen to his podcasts again, and read his books again. Stay connected to this work because it's so common and so normal to forget about it. When we are in the retreat and we see all the people doing it, we see the miraculous healings happening, we know, oh my gosh, I should do this every single day. This could change my life. I should really do this. And you see the signs, you have all the proof, and you're totally committed to do the meditations every day. but over time it can fade away. You can fall into old habits again, and you will just start to forget that you're a creator of your life. You forget that you are unlimited.
All the time. All the time we forget.
With us, oh my God, so many times it happens. We are falling back into limitations. It happens sometimes daily. And we need to keep reminding ourselves, hey, I actually am the creator. My thoughts create my life. I am unlimited.
When you go on a path of self-discovery, you're going to be confronted with your limitations. And if you are confronted with your own limitations, they will make you feel uncomfortable. And it never feels great to realize, oh my gosh, I behaved really bad in here or in there, or I said something wrong in there or here, because you have to self-correct, and you want to self-correct if you want to be a better person, if you want to evolve in this lifetime. That's what we do. And sometimes you can get frustrated with yourself and impatient, and you just don't want to do the work anymore. It happened to me all the time, numerous times. I stopped doing the work for some time because I needed a little pause from this all and integrate my things within myself. And you know, then I watched Ted Lasso or some other movies and so on to just make me feel comfortable and to make me feel good. But then I anyways know that the voice within me is calling for attention, because it knows that I know something, and I know that I have to nourish that something which is within you and within me. And it's the thing which we can't express, what we know, that there is something more to life than just to live ordinary 3D life.
So lastly, we want to also say that going to a Dr. Joe Dispenza retreat, as amazing as it is not the peak of your life. Even though a lot of people say this is the best thing I've ever done in my life, this is not the peak. Our true life, our meditations every day, our work every day, that's what's the peak in our life. That's what really matters. The retreat is just like going to vacation. You treat yourself, you give yourself this gift, and you have a wonderful experience. You can learn a lot of new things. But then it's not just about that 7 days, it's also about how you integrate it later, what you do with this knowledge and this wisdom, and how you can change, how you can evolve in this lifetime. That's where the magic really is. If you want to have a little reminder to stay positive and uplifted and remember that you're unlimited, we created these amazing shirts that say thank you and I love you, 2 of the most powerful affirmations. They can totally change the energy in your body. And when people around you read this message, you will remind them as well that they are loved. So check it out in the description below and get yourself as well some of these beautiful shirts. Please share with us as well in the comments what your experience was at a Dr. Joe retreat, how you integrate afterwards, so other people can inspire as well from you. And if you would like to share some more time with us, we also have this video here for you next.